His name was Rabbi Yaakov Yaffe, or to give his full title, Rabbi Yaakov Yaffe Ashkenazi. He was a great rabbi of his time. He was born right at the start of the 19th century in the year 1800. He passed away, reported over, on the 11th of October in the year 1882. He was a great Kabbalist. He was an educator and one of the great rabbis of Izmir in Turkey in his time. Remember, at that point in time, Turkey was under Ottoman rule. It was, and he'd gone to author various great works. I think his Hilula actually would be on Yud Tet Cheshvan. So, not necessarily recording this at the time of his Hilula, but I thought he was a very, very important rabbi that we should speak about respectively, because just because of the greatness that he would, let's just say, possess all throughout his life. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the famous rabbi's life. Now, it's actually interesting, he would live at a time period of the famous Rabbi Avram Pelagi, who was arguably one of the greatest rabbis of his generation. And it's actually written down that, I'd say what it's written in Wikipedia, Haya echad mechochmei yeshivatenu, Rav Atzum Kamara Yaakov Yaffe. I think this is what Rabbi Chaim Pelagi will actually state about, respectively. He was considered a matzmid when it came to limudim. He was and what he would do would be to spread Torah knowledge, Torah information, do immense amount of kiruv work over there. That was one of the things he would do, marbit Torah, and really, really encourage and educate the Talmudim inside the various different yeshivot that there was, especially in Izmir. He would learn, I think, all throughout the year, specifically on various different nights. He would take on many undertakings, especially, I think there was a great learning session that took place every year on Lag BaOmer, for example, and I think that would be very much orchestrated also with the help of Rabbi Chaim Pelagi of his time. Now, it's actually interesting looking at his family's life. His wife's name was Rabbanit Mirkado. I think she passed away herself, if I'm not mistaken, in the year Tafresh Nun Gimel in Izmir. Now, his son was Rav Chaim Moshe Yaffe, also another son, Rav Elia Yaffe, and Rav Shlomo Yaffe. I think, sadly, they might have passed away during the father's lifetime. I'm not sure of all of them, or maybe just the latter, but I'll have to double check that. But obviously, this was very, very tough on the father. Very, very, very great amount of difficulty, unfortunately. Now, Rabbi Yaakov would go on to print the book of his son. It was called Asher Ishlomo, which was a book of teachings on the Rambam over there. He himself, Rabbi Yaakov, did suffer from, let's just say, health issues also, which obviously would take its toll on anyone. It will. He, during his lifetime, it's reported over. Now, I think his daughter, or oldest daughter, Astroda, she would get married to a famous doctor, someone named Kado, Shmuel Yitzchak, Elia Meir Padua, if I'm not mistaken. And that's what I think his other daughter, Shruta, I think her name was, would get married to Rabbi Bachor Yoshua Yosef Ali, another great rabbi of his time. Hopefully we'll speak about him at a later stage. Now, he himself, I believe, passed away on the 19th of Cheshvan in the year 1882. We're talking about him from time of recording about 143 years ago. I believe during the Levaya itself, Rabbi Yosef Pelagi, one of the great rabbis from the Pelagi rabbinic dynasty, would speak about him. And I think also Rabbi Yitzchak Crispin, another great rabbi of his time, will actually mention him, I think, in the Shemot Yitzchak, in the great Torah book of his, respectively. And he himself would leave great, let's say, Torah writings, which we have to speak about also. Among his children, we mentioned about Rabbi Shlomo Yaffe Ashkenazi already. He was another famous rabbi of his time. Let's just explore a bit with regards to say something about him. I think he passed away on Yud Chet Nisan, in the middle of the festival of Pesach was his Hilula, Rabbi Shlomo Yaffe Ashkenazi. He lived about 42 years. I think he was born in English in 1825. He would go on, his son, to become the rabbi of Izmir and an area called Milas, I think. And he would write the Torah colossal work called the Asher Ishlomo. This was a book on the Rambam, which we mentioned about before. And I think he passed away in Izmir. He was about 42 years of age. He was a great rabbi of his time. And there's much we can say about him. His wife's name was Rabbanit Rivka El Ghazi. and he had a star student, his son did, Rabbi Yaakov Yaffe, and a great rabbi from Turkey. He obviously lived, his son lived in a time period where it was Rabbi Avram Palaji, Rabbi Yeshua Avram Yoda Eliezer, who was the author of the Avodat Masa book. During a time period, let's just say, where the Torah standard and the Torah learning in Turkey was probably one of the greatest, let's just say, of its era in of itself. And much more can be said within regards to the great family itself. Maybe we'll try and record a video on the history of the family. At one stage, for example, the Yaffe family, because they were really great rabbinic dynasty, let's just say, in Turkey in of its day. It was learning day and night. For example, his son was all the day he was davening and praying. I think sadly, his daughter passed away at a young age in his life, and that really did that affected him, unfortunately, at a huge level. It's reported over, and it's actually written. There's a whole article here, just reading from Wikipedia at the moment, which is absolutely devastating. I think it was his only daughter, and it says over here on Wikipedia, כל ימיו התפלל לראות בשמחת ביתו היחידה. אחי נפטרה כ3 חודשים לאחר חתונתה. Unfortunately, I think she passed away 3 months after she got married. וזכו אזכור ביום המיתה דמתה ביום ג' שעת אחר 10:30. והייתי אני בנווט ביתי עמה והיה בדעתה ברגע אחד קודם מותה קראה אותי אבי הנה אני הולכת בדרך כל הארץ, תבוא לכאן ואחבק ונשק אותך, כי אהבת עולם אהבתיך, ואחר דחיבקה ונשק אותי. אמרה לי, תלך ואין אני רוצה שתראה אותי במיטתי, דאיך יש אב שיראה במיטה ביתה, האם לא תלך אתה, אין אני נותן נשמתי. And the whole article goes on and on over here. With regards to it, I recommend everyone type his name and read the article on Wikipedia of his son. This is about talking about the son of the Rabbi we're speaking about today, Rabbi Shlomo Yaffe Ashkenazi, who was a great rabbi of his time. So today we're speaking about great rabbis, including Rabbi Yaakov Yaffe Ashkenazi, and I spoke a little bit within regards to his son, another great rabbi, Rabbi Shlomo Yaffe Ashkenazi also. Now friends, please watch over the previous videos recorded on many of the great rabbis. We're a community here. We are learning about the great Oriental rabbis of yesteryear, the great Ottoman Empire time period rabbis, and North African rabbis. Subscribe to the channel and like and share the videos to other people also, and join the community. And please, if you descend from any of the rabbis we're speaking about, please send me an email. I would love to hear more information. So thanks very much, have a great day, and take care. Thank you for watching.